I just want my brother to see me. I just want my brother to see me. I just want my brother to see me. My brother can't see me. They did it. They did it. They did it before. I got video of them messing with my brother and me before. I ain't do nothing. I just wanted my brother to see me. I just want I ain't do nothing to him. He talking about that's my family. That's my family in that too. You and I, man. That CB 101, man. That's that boy for my brother, man. Talking like that hard.
So what you saw there is an image of Trump. You know, black people have been through a lot in this country. And what went down May 2nd in Cincinnati is just another link added to the story. When Ryan Hinton Jr. was gunned down by police, where police said that he pointed a firearm at them, prompting them to open fire on him, ultimately unaliving 18-year-old Ryan Hinton, right? His father, Rodney Hinton, that morning with other family members went to the police precinct and they saw the video cam. And when they saw the video cam footage, it's alleged that Rodney Hinton Jr. was so distraught that he left out, got in his car, and ultimately mowed down police deputy Larry Henderson, who was on traffic duty at the time, right? This guy was hit and he was unalive. So now this has went viral all over the country, international, national. Everybody's talking about this story, right? And they're saying, okay, so they had the images of Rodney Hinton Jr. in the courtroom, as you guys can see, and he was surrounded by all of these police officers, right? And, you know, he was staring them down as he was walking through. He's staring the police officers down, and he was really going through it. But now we're hearing stories that he quite possibly may not have been the one that was driving the car. We're hearing now from an eyewitness, an alleged eyewitness is now coming out and saying that she witnessed him unconscious in the driver's side, and there was an older woman that was driving the car at the time when Larry Henderson was unalive while on duty as a police officer. So now we're getting a conflicting story. We saw him in court. We saw him staring down the police. We saw him surrounded. We saw the family members distraught. They wanted to see him. It was just chaos and mayhem in the courtroom. But there's a woman, LaShawn Hankerson. And I believe that is a woman, LaShawn Hankerson. But they went to Facebook and they was having a conversation. And they said, I promised to God, I made a post and everything. The man was unconscious in the passenger seat. And it was an older lady driving. They kept asking who the driver was. She kept hysterically crying and falling out like she was in shock. She did that. They are trying to do that man in. I literally tried to get him out of the car. He was stuck and not clean. Out. Airbags out and all. Then somebody, No Love Taylor, responded to LaShawn, please go tell somebody this. I pray God get him through this. Then LaShawn, she responded, if they aren't using cameras for evidence, right? We're going to get to that. They sure the F ain't going to listen to a black woman with a record. It was several of us right there that witnessed this curse word. They didn't even care about the dude in the car. Me and one other lady was trying to help him. They didn't even care about the black dude, only the officer. Then she came and said, I literally was right there yesterday. My effing child in the car with me. I got out to help. Once I seen I couldn't do anything, I started crying. And this older lady was praying and grabbed my arm and wrist. And we both started praying while looking at the sheriff. And there was an old lady driving, not no dude. They are lying this blank sad, right? Now, the whole time this went down, we saw video footage of Ryan Hinton and the police and that encounter that happened that morning on May 2nd. But we haven't seen any footage of the situation with Rodney Hinton Jr., the father of Ryan Hinton. We haven't seen any footage. They haven't shown anything, right? And we're waiting to see the footage. We saw an image of the car crash, but they have video on everything. We haven't seen any video footage. Now, there's a timeline that they're drawing now to break all this stuff down. Let's check out the timeline that they're given on how this stuff happened and the timeline of what happened after after Mr. Hinton found out his son was unalive. Check this out.
Here today, a homicide detective shared a new detailed timeline of Rodney Hinton Jr.'s alleged actions before crashing into Deputy Henderson. WCPO 9 News reporter Jay Shakur walks us through it.
Here's what we know right now about Rodney Hinton Jr.'s movements on Friday. A Cincinnati police detective said on May 2nd, shortly after 9:30 that morning, Rodney Hinton Jr., along with a police officer, shooting and killing his 18-year-old son, Ryan Hinton, the day before. Police say officers found Ryan and 3 other young men in a stolen Kia. When police arrived, the 4 men ran. Police ran after them, and officers say Ryan had a gun and it was pointed toward him. The footage, which is a bit blurry at times, shows the shooting and Ryan falling to the ground. Police then say after reviewing that body cam video shortly after 10:30 a.m., Rodney leaves Cincinnati Police's Criminal Investigations Sections Unit's parking lot. Police say he left this first time upset and unable to drive. Family members describe him as agitated. Witnesses tell police he went to a couple of different locations, then returned to the parking lot around 12:40 p.m. They say Hinton came back to pick up a car left behind, and then for a second time,
he actually left the parking lot, followed by some family members, and then a few minutes later returned to the parking lot at CIS, drove through the parking lot, and then left the parking lot again.
Now, authorities say that final exit occurred at 12:49 p.m. Just 11 minutes later, police say Hinton plowed right into Henderson, who was operating a traffic light at the intersection of Martin Luther King Drive and Burnett Woods. A detective on this case claims video footage shows Hinton first stopping in a left turn lane before increasing the car's speed.
The vehicle accelerated quickly directly at where Deputy Henderson was standing.
Cincinnati police have not yet identified that officer who shot and killed Hinton's son. Prosecutors say they believe that Rodney Hinton Jr. just, quote, ran over the first officer he saw. Jay Shakur, WCPO 9 News.
So we got the footage. And in that footage, they allege that he pointed a firearm at the police officers. But in that footage, we see Ryan running away. We see him running away. He's running to elude the police officers, right? And also, well, we'll get to this, right? He's running to elude the police officers. So this thing gets, and we see the intimidation tactics when Rodney's in the courtroom. So we know that in Cincinnati and in Ohio, there's been a plethora of police shootings that needs to be called to the carpet and called into question. But again, I keep telling black folks, this stuff is going to continue to happen until you guys unite, right? But there was a black reporter going around Cincinnati talking to the public to get their opinions on this. And he went into the barbershop to talk to folk. And in the barbershop, this was a barbershop that Rodney Jr. Frequents the barbershop. He comes there to get his hair cut, right? They had this to say. Check it out.
Friday, the 2 cases have created divisive conversations in our community, with much of it playing out online.
WCPO 9 News reporter Jay Shakur went into the community where many residents are frustrated with unanswered questions.
Tragedy cloaked in tension.
I just think that both sides lose. Not only was a deputy killed, there was a child killed here too.
That's the mood for many across Cincinnati after the police shooting death of 18-year-old Ryan. Inside a barbershop in Roselawn, the barbers here tell me Rodney Hinton Jr. was a client.
You got 3 police officers.
I went there to listen to their concerns about the use of force as officers pursued Rodney Hinton's 18-year-old son, who police said pointed a gun at the officer who shot him. Barbara Milan Davis's parents work in law enforcement.
My stepmother is a sheriff deputy today. My second dad, deputy. You know, there's a lot of good black and white cops.
He says he understands the pressures they're under oftentimes, but in this instance, there are still unanswered questions about CPD's use of deadly force.
Black boys and black men being killed by the police. And it's sad because that's going to get swept under the rug because of what the father did next.
They questioned the officer. WCPO has requested all police footage from the incident.
So y'all seeing that, what are y'all thoughts on that?
Instantly, all I can think about is like, what if that was my little brother?
If the kid pulled the gun out on him and shot at him and stuff like that, yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. But that's not the case here. When we looked at the video, we seen other than what they were saying. I seen that kid running. And then on top of that, why are all of their body cameras off and his is the only one there and it's a blurred shot?
There is a particular punishment for when somebody steals a car. That is not the punishment.
Their concern is based in what they say is their deep mistrust of police conduct in general and the justice system.
It ain't about hostility or anger or hatred. It's about making sure the constitutional rights are protected.
I've reached out to several organizations and community leaders asking what's being done to address these concerns and ease some of that tension. Right now, other than the calls for an independent investigation, we're still working to find out what community stakeholders are doing. In Cincinnati, Jay Shakur, WCPO 9 News.
As you heard those brothers giving their opinion, but I want to deal with something, right? Because it says that the man accused of unaliving Hamilton County Sheriff Deputy could face the death penalty, according to Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office. Ryan Hinton Jr., 38, was indicted Thursday on the following charges per the prosecutor, Connie Village. Right, now watch this, right? I want y'all to see this. He was on aggravated murder, capital death penalty, 2 counts. So, 2 counts, right? He's been brought in on 2 counts. Anybody ask that question? 2 counts of capital murder. Where's the second person? Also, murder special felony, felonious assault, 2 counts, right? So he's being brought in for 2 counts. So let's look up 2 counts of felonious assault means a person is charged with 2 separate instances of a serious assault, each punishable as a felony. This could mean 2 distinct victims were assaulted, or that the same victim was assaulted on 2 separate occasions. And we know that they wasn't assaulted on 2 separate occasions, so that means that there's 2 people, right? So there's credence to there's who was driving the car? Was Rodney really driving? Because there has to be a second person. Also, he's been charged with 2 counts of murder, right? So then we go 2 counts of aggravated murder with the possibility of death penalty. Typically means the defendant is accused of intentionally killing 2 or more people in the same criminal episode or in a separate but related incident, and the killings are accompanied by additional aggravated factors that make the offenses eligible for the death penalty. These aggravating factors can include things like the victim being a child, the crime being committed during another felony, or the murder being motivated by hate or terrorism, right? But again, he's accused of 2. But we only have 1 police officer that's been unalived. What are we not being told here? What is really going on here? What's going on? We need to know, because he has 2 counts. He has 2 counts of aggravated murder, 2 counts of felony assault. We just gave you the definition of it. We like to know why. We saw the family outraged. We saw the family distraught. We saw the family going through it. I want to know, where is the other victim? Where's the other victim? Why is he charged with this 2 counts? Where this woman is alleging that she saw him unresponsive in the passenger side of the car. And she tried to pull him out of the car, but he was jammed in. So we like to know, where's the other victim? Because there's obviously something that we're not being told here. But I'm just putting out the facts. I'm putting out the facts, and I'm putting out the definitions, and I'm showing you his charges. So let's go from there. I'm going to cut this video short here. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think about this, right? And remember, I love y'all. Till the next time, peace.